Greetings, everybody that's pulling into the live. I'm gonna wait a few minutes so other people can join. I want to thank everybody that's showing up. What's good? I am Baba Shango Ola, assuming that you know that because you joined the live and it's my live. But, you know, if it's anybody else, what's good? So today, I'm going to be reciting some Eshe Fa. Eshe Fa is the stories of Odu Meji and the stories from the Odus of Ifa. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the Odus of Ifa are the holy scriptures of Ifa, which tell the story of our history and gives us an understanding and perspective on all things great and small. So today I'm going to be reciting one of the many Eshe Fa of Odu Meji, one of the major Odu of Ifa, specifically the fourth major Odu of Ifa. So I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here, and once we got a good little thing, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna start on the Eshe Fa, and then afterwards I'll have a little commentary on it, and then if anybody's got any particular questions, I want to talk about it, we can wrap and get into it a little bit. I think that is really important as priests in our woes to be able to have this discussion with all people, those who are priests and those who are not, those who are new to the tradition and those who have been practitioners for a long time. I personally have been a practitioner of Orisha and Ifa my entire life. Both of my family parents are priests. But even with that, I still found that as I got older, there was a lot of things that were left wanting from the knowledge point. And oftentimes I found that it was difficult for me to delve deeper into this wisdom that had been passed down to me. So this is my attempt to share that with those people who are out there who are interested in Orisha and Ifa and are interested in our path and our progress. And so I hope that everybody has the opportunity to enjoy this particular story. And I hope to do this a little bit more often as well. So greetings to everybody that just joined the live. It is I, Baba Shango Ola. Nice to see everybody. It's good to see that I got a nice little turnout. So I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. And then I'm going to go in and get started. So you see, it's a bunch of people joining. What's up? I'm waving that. Got to wave back to people. I'm going to cancel. Oh, Gabi Asile. Agboato, Ashide Wadi Wofun. Thank you. So, so for those of you who have your hand in Ifa already, I see it looks like there may be one or two other fellow Babalaos out here. We're gonna be doing some reciting of some Eshe Fa. If you have some commentary or insight once the recitation is done, definitely let me know, because I'm always looking for a new insight. As you know, any true Awo will tell you that there's no Awo that knows all Ifa, and that we're always continuously learning. And anybody that tells you that they know everything is really being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that when we get a chance to sit and fellowship with each other, one of the things that I know that me and a bunch of my other fellow Awos love to do is to shoot Eshe Fa, different stories back and forth, and our own interpretation, ways that we see the Odu manifesting in the world. because what Odu is essentially a cardinal energy. It's a cardinal pattern. It's to some extent a finite pattern that forms the universe. And so our understanding is that Odu is that energy that makes up all of those things in the universe that can be seen and those things that are unseen. Those connections and lines that connect things together that you can't see. That is where the Odu comes into play. So today will be I'll be reciting from the Odu Meji. Right. And this particular story is I think it's quite interesting. I think we'll all get a pretty good kick out of this one. Hey, what's going on, Vi? It's good to see y'all got nice. Y'all actually checking in. That's dope. Few things for those of you that are my godchildren that are out there. We do have our annual end of the year at Bo coming up, where we're gonna be doing cleaning for the end of the year and the blessing for the new year. So I hope to see all of you guys there. Also, the last Hand of Ifa. Hey, what's going on, Vi? The last Hand of Ifa for 2022 will be happening December, I believe it's December 9th through the 11th. So if it has been marked for you in a previous divination that you needed to receive your Hand of Ifa and you're ready to receive it now, please reach out to me or reach out to my wife. Her number is in my profile, and let me know so that we can make preparations. I can't do it at the last minute, so you definitely need to come and speak to me beforehand of the date so that I can get everything together. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all out there. Tamaria, Javante, what's going on? Vi, what's going on? Yeah, so I hope everybody's ready for the end of the year. You know, we always have a great time there, and it's always a real big juice up for the next year. If you have, like I said, in a previous divination at some point, received information that you needed to receive your Hand of Ifa, please don't hesitate to look out for me. I see somebody drop me a question that said, how did I get into Ifa? Well, I was born into this, to be honest with you. Both my parents are priests. My mother was a priestess of Oshun before I was born. I think she was actually initiated when I was in the womb. And my father has been a priest of Ogun since he was 9 and a venerated Babalao for many, many years. So I personally came into this tradition by birth, but that takes nothing away from others who have come to it from finding this to be their spiritual path. Yeah, Tamaria, when we do the Ebo, you can definitely bring your issue. If you are a member of the temple and you come and you have a Risha that we will be feeding, and we will definitely be feeding Eshu, you can definitely bring your Eshu. Every year we definitely feed Eshu, so you can definitely bring your Eshu. All right, so it is 9:10. I wanted to give it 10 minutes before I started the recitation. So here we go. One of the Eshe Fa of Odu Meji. It says, Odu Meji was famous, or rather notorious in heaven for his pugnacity. More than that, for his Ifa practice, he was known as a ferocious warrior. His daily chores consisted of challenging all of the strongest divinities in heaven to combat, and almost always he was victorious. He was in the habit of going outside his house every morning to shout, Lo Bano! One day, when he shouted, Lo Bano, the king of death himself came out to challenge Odu Meji to a wrestling contest. In a sarcastic and contemptuous response, Odu Meji told the King of Death that he was not in the habit of wrestling with one-headed beings because he would not have the opportunity of demonstrating the superiority of his strength to them. He insisted that he only accepted challenges from creatures with more than one head. As soon as news got round that Odu Meji would only wrestle people carrying more than one head, a divinity with two heads came out to meet him. As soon as he engaged the challenger, he plucked off one of his heads, leaving him with one. Explaining his objective, he declared that no one had a right to carry more than one head, and he was determined to reduce all inhabitants of heaven to single-headed creatures. The next day, the divinity with three heads came out to challenge Odu Meji, and he plucked off his two extra heads, leaving him with one. The process continued until he came across the nine-headed divinity. The nine-headed divinity was the first to come out in the morning to challenge Odu Meji by also shouting, "Lo Bano!" When Odu Meji engaged him, he quickly plucked out the divinity's 8 extra heads. No sooner did his opponents fall to the ground than he was up again to re-engage Odu Meji for a second contest. Meanwhile, Ajala, otherwise known as Agbede Ogun, who was the head molder in heaven, rejoiced that as long as Odu was in heaven, he would have plenty of work to do. He was at the venue of the wrestling contest when Ajala saw that the contest was becoming stiff. He made an oxymoron to Odu by leading him with the expression that Ajala knew how to cast all parts of the body except the vertebrae column. That was a hint to Odu to attack his opponent by the vertebrae column. Odu immediately got the message and instantly threw up his opponent, lifting him by the vertebrae, and he fell to the ground. After defeating his opponent, Odu went home with the wives and properties of all those he vanquished, as was the custom in heaven. The last divinity he defeated was the Alara of heaven. On getting home, Odu invited all the Awos of heaven and told them to reveal the name of Alara's wife, the last woman he inherited from the contest. Her real name was Bolawumi, meaning my favorite wife. To proclaim her the literary way would connote a desire to seduce the woman, which would get the person revealing her name into trouble with Odu. Anyone who mentioned her name that way was immediately challenged to another spar pinning contest on a stony floor. All those who went through this ordeal failed, and Odu seized all their belongings in the process, until it came to the turn of Olahari Bafe, who had been advised at divination to offer a fowl to his head and to prepare it with echo. He had been advised to reserve the hand of the fowl for his first visitor on the morning, following the sacrifice to his head. On the other hand, he was to prepare another sacrifice for Eshu with okro, made up of a corn cob and other slippery objects. He was advised also to insist that he would only fight on top of an ephod tray called an apako. On the morning of Olihara Bafe's contest with Odu, the latter sent his 3 children called Iboru, Iboye, and Iboshishe to visit Olahari Bafe and to invite him to visit him because he was very ill. When the boys got to Olihara Bafe's, he told them to inform their father that he would visit him as soon as he collected some leaves from the bush for his treatment. As the boys were about to leave, he remembered the hand of the fowl he had been advised to give to whoever was the first visitor that morning. He quickly called back to the boys and invited them to eat something before returning home. They ate Echo and the fowl's ham. After eating, the eldest of Odu's 3 sons remarked to his other brothers that no one kills a host after enjoying his hospitality. In other words, the law in heaven was that no one should kill a person after eating his food. With that, they resolved to reveal all their father's secrets to Olihara Bafe to save him from the machinations of their father. They taught him the correct way to pronounce Bolawumi's name, as well as the point on the stone floor at which to pin the oparere or spear to the ground of their father's private chamber. That is the water drain, at which point a frog was used for sacrifice every morning. They also told him how to position his apako, advising him that as soon as their father stopped, he should proclaim that he had fallen. With that, the boys left for home. When Olihara Bafe got to Odu's house, he complained about his illness, but told him that before doing anything to heal him, he should first reveal the name of his wife as testimony to his prowess. Olihara Bafe quickly asked him, "Is it not the former wife of Alara called Bolawo Pehuwa Jewon Awo?" Meaning that is the only woman who entitled